feel like a fraud. A fraud.
What?
At this very moment that we are recording our coffee break. What is this called? Podcast live show. I'm like, what am I supposed to call this moment in time?
podcast live stream podcast. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to an all brand new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown. The Song Swap Showdown. Swapping songs every week. You like that?
I really do. It makes me think of maybe a cartoon from the 80s.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I hear in my head. That's what I hear in my head.
Look at you go.
Almost like the Josie and the Pussycats, Josie and the Pussycat, that theme song, but I hear it as Song Swap Showdown. That's what we need.
Yes.
Amanda, we need someone who could help construct that 80s cartoon theme song, but for the Song Swap Showdown. That's what we need.
We're in season 3. We still haven't gotten there.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Have to work on it. So if any of our fine community of swappers out there are talented and would like to have your music featured every single week on the show, well, we're open. We're open to a theme song. So just putting it out there in the universe. That's all.
Not only are we open to one, we need one.
Yes, we absolutely need one. I mean, I like our song, but I want something fun, something ours, something that we can truly car. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. Welcome everybody to the Song Swap Showdown. We appreciate you spending some time with us today, whether you're watching the live feed over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, or hanging out with us, listening to this wherever you get podcasts or watching replays and all those same places. We're so happy that you're here to hang out with us and enjoy another episode where Amanda and I share 3 songs with each other. We don't think the others heard. We swap them, and then we rate them on an ever-complicated scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a dumpster fire, meaning we don't want to hear this again. I can't believe you shared this with me. This song's terrible. All the way to a 5 record, which is heavenly music to our ears. Our playlist.
That's just so pretty.
We'll never get sick of hearing that song. So.
Never. That means a good song has been played.
That's right. And I got to be honest with you, we've given out a lot of 5s recently, but we've really, the last few shows have been really good themes and, and we've had a lot of crossover, with the songs in the sense of it's stuff you and I are kind of into already. So we really haven't had too many duds in the recent, pantheon of episodes that we've had.
And spoiler alert, I feel like today's episode may not be landing there 100%, but our list with the theme we have seemed pretty cohesive.
I would say so. I would say when you look at our lists back to back, we had a pretty good. They meld. I should say they meld very well. So Amanda, what is today's theme? Why don't you explain that to everybody? And this was your idea too. So I'd love to know your line of thinking on this one.
Do you know I knew what my line of thinking was last week when we talked about it, and this week I was like, why did we stumble on this? Which I still am so in love with. And today's theme is, what do you listen to when you have your cup of coffee, you're sitting down and you're taking that first sip, and it's that sigh of relief, okay, all is right in the world right now. I'm going to take a break. That right there. What are you listening to when that magic happens? And so that is what this week's list is about. And I think when you play them all 6 songs back to back, or even switch them up a little bit.
Right.
You wouldn't necessarily know. Well, you probably would know whose is whose, but they play beautifully together. And I think they still hit the feeling.
Yeah, I will say that listening to all these songs back to back on our Spotify playlist, which you can go to right now. Use the link in our show notes or the video description here. It'll take you right to it on our Spotify playlist we have. We always put all the songs that we talk about each week in order. But yeah, when you listen to these 6 songs straight down, it feels good. It feels good. I did the coffee test to it, and I gotta tell you, it works. It works.
And you know, I don't know if your mind does this, Chris, and our listeners, but when I'm sitting enjoying my cup of coffee, like really in the zone of taking that break, my mind wanders.
It definitely wanders for sure. And so I have downstairs in my kitchen, when we first bought the house, like Rachel and I always wanted like a little bistro table. Just
Yes.
finally we had a kitchen with the place we're currently in where it was big enough to like have that. So we have like a little tiny square bistro table with 2 like high top chairs. And that's like where, you know, we all sit, and that's where I sit. Like I'll drink my coffee there. I have my my little radio, my Echo speaker like there, and I'll put stuff on, and I'll put my laptop on, and I just zone out.
Sure.
And I've got a lot of playlists and things, but I definitely have my favorites, like my go-tos, right? And I don't know if I ever thought about calling it like my coffee playlist in the sense of just it's sort of like my work playlist in a sense, or like just getting stuff done. I don't even know if I really have a name for it, but there's definitely those songs that you can kind of listen to and just sort of like, just, I don't know, get in the zone, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
your eyes almost like gaze off.
Yeah. Like you just kind of get right into it. And I feel like, you know, you kind of get lost. You get focused. You get focused, you get a little lost in thought, which is good. I think it, you know, it relaxes the mind and kind of lets some of the creativity flow, so to speak.
Absolutely. And we love our Spotify. They're not a sponsor, but we'd like them to be.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're searching Spotify for like coffee break music or coffee music, all that pops up is mostly jazz and, you know, just musical stuff, instrumental, very laid back type of music. So I think our playlist for our coffee break is groundbreaking.
It's groundbreaking. Wow.
It's groundbreaking.
Wow. Groundbreaking.
Even though it's so mellow, it shouldn't be able to break the ground.
Yeah. You know what? I would say though that it is good. You know what? It's a really good, what I like about how our list kind of plays out. It's a good jumping off point for a lot of, especially, you know, once again with Spotify, right? And some of their tools, like radio tools and things they have. Like, I feel like it's a good jumping off point for it to like sort of start recommending like similar sounding things.
Yes.
And that I really like. And so, and I will say I have found a lot of new music that way from different artists and things like that, because it sort of takes what you're listening to and like spits out a bunch of like, well, you might like this and you might like this. And so I feel like those 6 songs grouped together, it's a good launch pad. You're welcome, everybody.
You're welcome. It's so true. So because when your third song ended for me, it did take me into this place of mellow that I could have had a 4th cup of coffee and still stayed anchored.
Still stayed anchored. Good morning, John Pica, checking in.
Good morning.
Checking in. Thank you so much, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Oh, and he said slightly different schedule, say AM, so I can tune in. Hey,
wonderful.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate you. Thanks for all of your support. Thanks for everybody's support. Thanks for everybody who's checking in with us right now and watching the live feed. Feel free to comment along, drop some stuff in the little comment box if you want. Let us know. First of all, I think a great question is, how do you take your coffee? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Let us know how you take your coffee. If you drink coffee, if you drink tea, hey, that's fine too. Drop it in there. And second is, you know, maybe let us know like what maybe some of your coffee tunes, coffee break tunes are that you might go to, things that you can maybe flip on when, you know, whether you're having your coffee break or you're just sort of like, you know, wanting to get into that relaxed zone of like focus and work. Let us know in the comments below as we go along. We'll bring them up. We'll talk about them. Always good for discussion.
Can I
Yes.
absolutely air my dirty laundry right now?
Amanda Sharp.
I have a full confession to make at this moment.
It's like an exclusive.
It is such an exclusive. I feel
breaking news.
I feel like a fraud. A fraud.
What?
At this moment, this very moment that we are recording our coffee break what is this called? Podcast live show. I was like, what am I supposed to call this moment in time?
live stream and podcast.
Thank you for filling in the blanks, Chris, for me. I am only drinking hot water. Okay. Listen. Like, and I can show you proof.
Like just hot water, no tea?
Just hot water.
Just scalding hot water.
Scalding hot water because we got a Culligan system that just spits out hot water here at the office. And I got here late because Owen was running really late this morning and I didn't have time to make coffee. So I am doing our coffee break show with hot water. Clear hot water. I feel like a fraud.
You are a fraud. I'm calling you out on that one.
Please do.
Because I do have coffee.
You sure do.
Look at that.
So let's talk about your ratio of.
And by the way, I also didn't realize. So for those of you watching the live stream or the video version of this, I also am now realizing like how much of a nerd that I am. That I have a Star Wars sweater on and I'm drinking out of a Star Wars mug. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
It doesn't get any nerdier than that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm glad.
But what is your ratio that's in your cup at the moment?
So my ratio is I always need a little something, right? So a while ago I made the transition to oat milk, which I absolutely love. So I just recently started getting like oat milk creamers. Now I don't like overly sweet. I don't put sugar in my coffee. So I only really put just a little bit in there because it is a little sweet. But it's just enough to add a little bit of extra flavor. Like I don't like it completely like, creamed out, I still want coffee, but sometimes I need like, I mean, I can drink it black, but I always just need a little dab of something, a little something. Yeah.
I like it. So that's a good ratio. I really like that. There's, do like that type of stuff. And there's like an oatmeal cookie one that I really enjoy. Oh,
I've had that before. Yeah.
And it's very light. Flavored wise. And like you said, I just want a little dash of a little bit of treatness, and I would take anything over this hot water right now, if I'm being honest.
I can't believe you're just drinking straight hot water.
I feel like fraud. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't even. What's wrong with me?
Ashley Feller checking in with coffee during the week with MCT oil and coconut oil. Ooh, nice. Coffee in the weekend black with a splash of Baileys. I like that combo. Very good for you, Ashley. That is great.
Ashley is pretty cool, so I'm not surprised.
I wish I was as cool as her. She's got it all going on. Like, look at that combo.
I know.
I like that.
Just the fact
I'm gonna have to try that, Ashley. I'm gonna try the coconut.
She has weekday
Yes.
Ratios and then weekend ratios.
You know what?
So not only are her ratios great, her division of the treat of them. Like, come on, Ashley. That's amazing.
Yeah, very cool. I like the coffee game. Strong coffee game, Ashley. Strong. Love it. All right. So we can talk about coffee all day, but I know the people who are listening to us also want to hear us talk about the music.
This is right.
Which is what we're discussing today. We're swapping songs that we like to listen to while enjoying a sweet cup of Java or hot water in Amanda's case.
I'm so sorry, guys.
So with that, I want to go first today because I do want to talk about your first tune. So you gave me actually a very classic song, by the way, which I did do some research on. So not only the artist who did this song, like the version of the song, but the song itself, because I was like, where did this song come from? So the song that we're talking about is Beyond the Sea. Beyond the Sea.
Somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands.
I like this version.
Yeah.
And watches the ships.
So the song is, of course, Beyond the Sea by Kina Grannis. Had never heard of Kina Grannis before, but I agree with you on this rendition here. I love the ghostly of this, and the ukulele makes it even better.
If I could fly,
really good.
It's so sweet. It's very relaxing.
I could definitely hear this in any coffee shop.
Yes, you just
that I walk into.
Go,
yeah,
the world is okay.
I could definitely hear this. They probably play it on Sirius XM's Coffee House Radio or whatever that is. I think they have like a station like that. But Yeah, I'd never heard this version of the song before. I didn't know who Kina Grannis was. So for those of you who would like to know who Kina Grannis is, so Kina Grannis is a baby, kind of. She was born on August 4th, 1985. So she's 37. And, well, I mean, not a baby, but you know.
But, yeah.
But you know, I'm getting close to that magical number. So I feel like not anybody under that's a baby.
Sure.
So Kina is an American guitar singer, and she's also a big YouTuber. Grannis was actually the winner of the 2008 Doritos Crash the Super Bowl contest, earning her a recording contract with Interscope Records and having her music video played during the commercials on the Super Bowl back in September 3rd of 2008. She released her debut record in 2010 called Stairwells and a music video, and has also appeared on Ellen DeGeneres' show and Jimmy Kimmel Live. And so this was a song that she had released a version of back in, I will say right here, I have it written down, where'd it go? It was released in, what just happened to my notes on that song? Oh, well. So anyway, she released a version of this back in 2000 and... Oh, here it is. Sorry. Boy, I had all my notes written out for this thing and it did not.
Well, it's a lot of info.
It is a lot of info because the song itself, I'll have to... Everybody, I'll get back to you on that one. This is me not having all my facts properly prepared. But this song is actually, there's actually 352 versions of this song.
I believe it.
Like, did you, like, I was blown away by that. Absolutely blown away by that there was that many versions of the song. A little bit about Beyond the Sea, because then when I saw 352 versions, I started going down the rabbit hole of like,
sure.
When was this song even? Because I remember, like, you know, of course, I think like everybody does the Bobby Darin version and
Frank Sinatra,
you know, Frank Sinatra and Dino. So you sort of remember like those crooner versions.
Yeah.
But like, where did the song come from? So this was actually the first recording of Beyond the Sea was by Harry James and his orchestra on December 22nd, 1947. And the song itself, the actual original version of the song is called Le Mar, and it was written by a French jazz musician and performed by Ronald Gerbeau in December of 1945. So the original songwriter is Charles Trenet, and the composers were Charles Trenet and Albert Lasry. So those were the original writers of the song. And it was actually done in French originally, as I was saying. So it was called Le Mar. And it was an ode to the sea. And Bobby Darin was the one who took it and rewrote it to be a love song. So his version was released in 1959 and reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, by the way, number 15 on the US R&B chart, and number 8 on the UK singles chart in early 1960. Before that, though, there were 2 instrumental recordings that reached the top 40 in the Billboard Hot 100. Betty Goodman's version charted in 1948, and that was also featured in the Cary Grant and Betsy Drake romantic comedy Every Girl Should Be Married, and Roger Williams recorded an instrumental version that reached number 37 in 1955. So it's amazing the power of this song, by the way. Like, to think back that this song was written and released in 1946, originally as, you know, like I said, an all French song called Le Mar, and then Bobby Darin took it and made it more into a love song. And then from there, it's just, like I said, 352 versions.
That's crazy.
Cover versions of this song.
Is from 2018. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So it's very recent still, and I think it holds up to the test of time. I just love this song.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here looking. I gotta post this in our Facebook group because I have a list of everybody who's recorded it and released it in the years. It's pretty amazing. And so from 1946 until the Bobby Darin version, it was pretty much called Le Mer. And then when he did it, then it became like the love song that we know it, and kind of changed the lyrics a bit. So pretty interesting stuff, man. I gotta tell you, it's it's amazing when you see a song like that and the history of a song kind of go through the times and how everybody sort of has made it uniquely their own. So bringing it back to Kina, it's a song everybody knows, but like we just said it, like her version is just her and a ukulele, like singing it. And I love her like haunting, like, sort of version of it. I think it's very cool. Kind of as like a slight Lana Del Rey vibes for me. But I like it. I think she's made it her own. Obviously, I think she has a very unique voice. I haven't heard any of other Kina stuff, but it's definitely making me want to go listen to more of Kina stuff. So with all that being said, I do. So first off, I do feel like it fits in very well on a coffee break playlist. So that's number one. Total coffee house jam, completely works as a coffee break or coffee playlist or whatever you want to call it, works on that level. So that's number one. Number two, record wise, I would not skip this song. I've actually saved it and added it to my liked songs. So it obviously made this playlist, so it's on this playlist. So I think I would give this version. I think initially when I heard it, I was kind of like more of a 3.6, 3.7. But the more I've listened to it and the more I've kind of gotten into her voice, I think I would give it a solid 4 records.
I love that.
It's a 4 record version for sure.
I like that. I think that's super fair. Super, super fair. And, it made me wonder when you're saying 356 versions of this song, what song has taken the record from the most versions that have ever been sung? Because my goodness, this has got to be up there, Chris. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I'm checking the Google machine now.
Check that Google machine because.
Oh, wow. So this is just right off the bat. So if you Google what song has been most covered, now I don't know how updated this is.
Sure.
This is pretty crazy. So according to the Guinness World Records, it's actually the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's pretty legit.
What before I go into it, what song would you guess? Just add it. I mean, it's so many, but just if you were to pull it out of a hat, what song do you think would be the most covered song?
Is it religious?
Not religious.
Okay, then I have no guesses.
Okay. So, and this is coming from 2018, this data, so
Sure.
This could be off now, but according to Guinness Book of World Records in 2018, the most recorded song with the most cover versions ever of any song ever written remains popular with more than 1,600 recorded versions.
1,600
is Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. The Beatles. 1,600 versions.
I would never have guessed that was the Beatles song. Oh. That was Ashley Feller.
Ashley Feller, I think, got that before I even said it. She said Yesterday.
See, just goes in line with how cool we say she is.
So here, I just found something right here. So most covered songs in musical history, Yesterday has been covered. So this is of 2021, has been covered 2,200 times. So even since 2018.
Wow. It's went up that much just in 5 years.
In March a year ago, this was written this is an article in the postathens.com. The top 5 most covered songs are Yesterday by the Beatles.
Wow.
Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Huh.
My Way, Frank Sinatra.
See that.
And Over the Rainbow.
That seems obvious now.
Now, it doesn't say the numbers of these songs, but this is of March of 2022 from the postathens.com, the 5 most covered songs in history. So,
wow, that is very surprising to me.
So, yeah.
And this 356 doesn't even touch.
No.
The top ones. That's
no, it doesn't even touch it.
Interesting fact that we just discovered. Thank you for Google machining that and coming up with the answer to the question in my brain.
It may, but it may make a top 100 list.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 356 versions is remarkable. I don't want to downplay that at all, but I just thought that would have been more in the top running. But not so much.
But not so much. But there you go.
Very, very good.
There
Well,
you go.
I accept you for records. Thank you for that. Thank you for Google machining that because my mind was curious. And let's move on to your first song to me, which is 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins. And this was the only song on your list that I knew. Spoiler alert.
All right. Wasn't sure.
Just this one. And it's just such an iconic, this part. This is so iconic. And you know, you immediately are just chilling when you're hearing this. And I don't really love the Smashing Pumpkins. I said that out loud. Ouch. But this is, I can't hate this.
So you're not a Smashing Pumpkins fan?
Not really. And maybe that's unfair. I wouldn't seek them out, right? I wouldn't skip them probably more than likely. But this, if I'm, like I was saying, when you're listening to these 6 songs back in order or out of order, I would not skip this one. I would continue in my days, and just start continuing to contemplate life.
Okay. Okay.
I'd just be there, probably bounce my head a little bit more. But it would just be taking me maybe in a different thought process. This would maybe take me into a different thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, I really, obviously it's on my list, but I really like this song. I am a big Smashing Pumpkins fan, but let me, I'm going to put an asterisk next to that. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy the first 3 Smashing Pumpkins records a lot. I mean, I love Gish. I love Siamese Dream, to me, honestly, is one of my top 20, best sounding records of all time. I think I absolutely love Siamese Dream, Melancholy and Infant Sadness, epic record, which is where 1979 is off of. That's from that record. Things after that sort of became hit or miss, as the band changed and warped. I mean, they really have had good songs post those 3, but I feel like as far as those 3 records go, I feel like those are their most solid offerings as a band, from start to finish. So, but I really like 1979 because I always felt like it was such a different song for Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. And I like that.
Agreed.
They started to explore sort of a different kind of a sound, definitely much more of a poppy, more accessible tune, but I really like it. And I like the video for this too. I always found the video to be just fun because it just kind of, I brought back some memories back then.
Sure.
Just a little bit about the song. The song actually reached number 12 on the US charts and number 16 on the UK charts. So basically, Billy Corgan, according to Songfacts.com, wrote this song about making a transition out of youth and into adulthood. He remembered being in high school and having adult responsibilities like a car and a job, but still being very much a youth and dependent on his parents. He said from VH1 Storyteller, sometimes when I write songs, I see a picture in my head. For some reason, it's of the obscure memory I have. The memory that goes with the song is from when I was around 18 years old. I was driving down a road near my home on a rainy night and was waiting at a traffic light. He went on to say that the picture emotionally connotates a feeling of waiting for something to happen and not being quite there yet, but it's just around the corner. He had a version of this song written long before it was released, but didn't think it fit the mood of any of their previous albums. This was actually the last song written for Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Corgan told the producer that he thought it had a lot of potential, so the producer gave Corgan 24 hours to make it work, or else it wouldn't be on the album.
Ooh.
He went home that night, came up with the lyrics, and recorded it the very next day. This was nominated for 2 Grammys, Record of the Year, and Best Rock Performance.
I didn't realize it was that successful.
When this song came out, I mean, it was released. This was a big single. I mean, it hit the top, number 12. It was in the top 20. So I remember this song being everywhere, and especially on MTV. Still, back then they were still playing videos. I mean, this is 1995, so still very much playing a lot of videos and quote unquote grunge. The whatever. It's still everywhere. But I mean, they played the heck out of this song in this video for sure. I really like the song though. I just love the vibe. The vibe is really great.
And I was really curious what songs you were going to give me for this.
I thought you would be. And I don't know if you thought about any of the songs that I gave you would even make this list. No,
but they were so appropriate for this list that I was really impressed by you, Chris.
I had a very hard time with this list because, I know everybody knows me as a rock metal punk guy, but I do have a very deep love of music, and I'm not just sort of like box myself into one genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's the part I play in the show, which is fine. I'm happy to do because I do love that. I mean, it's such a huge part of my background and what I love about music, but I do love music, and there's a lot of music I like. And so, you know, showing off a little bit of my chops to you, Amanda Sharp.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So it's a solid song. I feel it's so appropriate to be on the list. I'm not going to give it a 4. But I'm going to give it like a 3.8, Chris.
Okay. Mark Ronick is with you apparently on your thoughts about Smashing Pumpkins and the song. But hey, that's fine.
Absolutely. And Mark and Johnny, if you would be so kind to tell us how you love your coffee. How do you drink your coffee? And Mark, you were not here when I told everyone that I confessed that I was drinking just hot water this morning because I didn't have time to make coffee before the show. I just brought it from home.
Johnny, just checking in with the some of the comments here. When we were talking about some most covered songs, so if you're just joining us down the live feed, we were talking about most covered songs, and we found out yesterday had been covered like 2,200 times. Johnny's saying, haven't been a singer for most of my life. I don't believe that list of most covered songs is accurate. And Johnny, it probably isn't from a quick, Google search.
Sure.
I know yesterday is like definitely been our most covered songs, but I don't know the accuracy of those numbers. I mean, it did make the Guinness Book of World Records at least that time, but I'd love. We should do that. We'll do deeper dive on that. More. We'll back.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great reel. I think a lot of people would be really surprised.
Yeah, and Mark is saying at least put some lemon in our hot water. Thank you, Mark.
I don't argue that.
Oh, what's going on with you this morning? Hot water in a styrofoam cup.
So listen, I was able, let's not forget, I was able to chug snow globe water with no problem. So,
no one's forgetting.
So drinking just plain hot water.
Just plain hot water.
Better than that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Mark Ronick I drink bulletproof coffee with coconut creamer by Coffee Mate every morning. Nice. Is that Black Rifle coffee, the bulletproof?
Oh, look at you.
Is that what that is, Mark? Because Black Rifle, I'm not sure if that's it, but Black Rifle does make a really good coffee. I wish they were sponsors of the show.
In retrospect, we should have had a coffee thing. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll do it next year.
We need a coffee sponsor for this show. So if you're out there and you have like some coffee label, like let us know. We'll drink your coffee. We'll promote you.
You know what
as long as it's good.
We really need a manager that says, this is what you guys do.
We're looking for a manager. If we're opening auditions for a manager of the Song Swap Showdown.
Because we just love showing up and having a great time.
So Bulletproof is a brand of coffee. Okay, thank you, Mark.
Okay. It sounds very strong. It's like probably a very dark, coffee, I would assume.
I like that. It's good. Good strong coffee in the morning. I need that, man.
Get you going.
I need that get up and go juice.
I want to be clear. I've already had 3 cups. I'm already 3 cups in for coffee. So this is like, I'm not having coffee today. I have.
Right.
Just to let everyone's hearts be more at ease.
Yeah, exactly. Ashley saying brain fuel.
Yes, ma'am.
100 billion%.
Yes. And side fact, I think Ashley would do a beautiful, beautiful version of Beyond the Sea. Couldn't you see her singing that beautifully?
I could absolutely see that.
Ashley, it's just a suggestion from some of your biggest fans. We would love to hear you sing that.
Yes. Just a special request from people who love you and think you're amazing. Just putting it in the suggestion box. So before we move on with the rest of the show, just going to take a quick second to thank our sponsors of the show. Campsite.bio.
Yeah.
So if you're an avid listener of the show and part of our community here, then you know how much we love Campsite.bio and how much we love using Campsite.bio and how much we love talking about Campsite.bio. So if you are looking for the ultimate link in bio tool, Campsite.bio is 100% it. It literally is the link in bio tool created just for you. Like there is so much amazing customization and integration in this tool. And on top of it, which I love, is that they've made it very easy to use, which Amanda talks about all the time. Because I want to say it's so easy, and even Amanda can use it, but it's so easy and Amanda can use
it. Yes, sir.
But I mean, if you are, I mean, listen, a lot of our social channels, right? Just us in particular. Like when you think about Instagram, you think about TikTok, even Twitter. Like you get that one space to put a link in, right? And you're struggling. Like, do I put my website? Do I put my other social link? Do I put my store? Do I put like what is it? A link to my community? But with campsite.bio, you literally take that and all your links are in one spot. Like, so for instance, for us, yep, there it is. For us, for Amanda, like we have all our personal links in there. We have links to our different projects, our professional links to our businesses, links to our social medias, everything. With the show in particular, we have links to where you can listen to the show. Our YouTube channel is actually integrated right in there, so you can click and watch the latest video. Our Spotify playlist that we were talking about is in there. Actually, all the show's Spotify playlists are in there. So all is accessible and easy in one place, including, which is the one thing I just added on, which I love that they put this in there, a tip jar. So if you like your favorite creator, like us, and you want to give us a little tip, you could leave us a little tip right in there. Or you can go to our Buy Me a Coffee, which is also accessible in there. Listen, campsite.bio, as much as we rave about it and we say, hey, we're creators, we use it, it literally isn't just for creators. So I don't want anybody to get that idea. If you're a marketing manager, if you're a brand, if you're an agency, if you're a small business owner, campsite.bio is 100% the way to go. This is what you want to use. Join over 200,000 creators, agencies, and brands already using campsite.bio. Lets you stay in control of your branding to create a bio link that matches you. The possibilities are endless with their customization tools. Sign up right now. You can get it for free. Use the link in our show notes below. You get a free link. Sign up. Do it. It's awesome. And you're going to love it so much. You're going to want to sign up for the pro plan. Sign up for that pro plan. Use the code in our description for $10 off. That's our gift to you. Well, our gift from campsite.bio to you. Sign up today. You're going to love it. Absolutely. We love it. And you will too. I guarantee it.
Boom.
Guarantee it. Boom.
Guaranteed it.
Guaranteed it. All right. Back into the show.
Woo.
Back into the show. All right. So, where were we? Okay. So, you were at 1979. Your second song to me was That's the Way It Is by Daniel Lanois.
I almost feel like it's like Lanois or something, maybe.
Lanois. Oh, yeah. You know what? It probably is Lanois because he's Canadian.
I felt like that was right, but listen to me pretending like I know how to speak.
Yeah. So what's great about this song is I actually knew this song because I play Red Dead Redemption.
There you go. Okay.
And I always love this song. And when it first comes in, you're like, is that Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah. It's got that like, yes. So this is good. End of Red Dead Redemption.
Yep.
You basically win it, right?
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, and he's on this horse and he's kind of, well, no spoiler alerts, but it's when Owen played it and it got to this point, this was probably like a year or two ago, and I was like, what is that amazing music? It made me so emotional with what was happening in the game. Now, this is a game, and here I was tearing up. Hello.
Yes. I mean, I forgot how good of a song this was. It's such a good song.
Man, you having a bad day? Sit down to this song and
I love it.
Just digest it.
And it makes me think that, like, so once again, too, this is like the great thing about like video games and like how good they can be and how good the writing and the characters are and the fact that they create real songs like this. Like you get real song, like
it has a soundtrack.
It's just so great. I mean, obviously, if anybody's out there watching The Last of Us right now on HBO, you see what really good casting and writing of how to take already a great game that was already well written and well acted and translate it to, like, they're doing everything right, by the way. I'm just going to say, like, that is, if you want to know how to take a video game and actually make a great series out of it, boom, there you go. Watch Last of Us. But and I hope they actually do that with Red Dead Redemption one day, because I would love to watch a Red Dead Redemption show. It would be an amazing series.
The story behind it is fantastic.
Such a great story. But I love this. So this song's great. And I actually had forgotten about it. There's actually a really cool, I'm going to post this in our group, is a really cool video of him playing it. from Amazon Studios. It was like an Amazon original, and he played it like live in their studio. It's a really cool live performance. So I'll post that in our Facebook community, which you can get by using a link in our show notes and in our bio to check that out. But really love this song, man. And yeah, it comes at a great point at the end of the game, and it just really sums up the character really good. It's basically Arthur comes to a realization about the choices he's made in the past and his path forward from that point on. So just a little bit about the songwriter, though, because this is fascinating, because I didn't know much about Daniel Lanois. Thank you. Yeah, actually, that is how you say it. Lanois. Sorry.
Oh, look at that.
I am looking at it right now, actually, and I just saw his pronunciation is Lanois. Daniel Lanois, and it's French. He was born in 1951, and he's a Canadian record producer, guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter. Check out this resume. He has produced albums by artists including Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Peter Gabriel, Robbie Robertson, Emmylou Harris, Willie Nelson, Spoons, and Brandon Flowers, to name a few. He's collaborated with Brian Eno to produce several albums for U2, including The Joshua Tree, which is one of their best record by far, and Octoon Baby. 3 albums produced or co-produced with Lanois have won Grammy Awards or Album of the Year. 4 other albums have received Grammy nominations. He has released several solo albums, and he wrote and performed all the music for the 1996 film Sling Blade. If you guys remember that, I love Sling Blade is an amazing movie, and I didn't even realize that he had done all the music for Sling Blade. So very, very accomplished musician, very talented individual. So kind of a no-brainer, I guess, that he would wind up on the soundtrack for Red Dead Redemption, which is one of the best video games I've ever played in my life. 1 and 2, including the 1, 2 where they're zombies. Love that. And I love that, he contributed a song, which is a great way to cap off when you're playing that game. So I would consider this a 4.5 record song. I mean, I had actually forgotten really how good this song was until you put it on, and I was like, wait a second, I know this song. And I was like, oh my God, Red Dead Redemption 2. And it even, it has the cover art for it too on Spotify. But I was like, man, this song is so good. This song is really good, really well written. But I give it a 4.5. I think it's great.
That. Oh my goodness. That's so fabulous. I wasn't sure that you would have heard it before, only because if you didn't play the game, you wouldn't necessarily have heard it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something they play on, obviously, on the radio, but yeah, you'd have to have played the game to get to that point and then hear it and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's really captivating just to hear it. And I think it just came at the right time of that storyline ending type of thing, and it just takes me to a place of just you're contemplating life.
Like, I love the beginning of this song too, because it's from like really incorporates like the music from the whole game.
It's just beautiful,
like such a great sounding tune.
I love that you gave it 4.5. It's a lengthier song.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. It's a good song, man. It does sound like Bruce Springsteen when he comes in right there, by the way.
It's The Secret Garden by Bruce Springsteen. Like, it kind of gives me the same kind of feels a little bit. Totally different, but a little bit.
Got that vibe.
Yeah, so very good. 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 records. Yep.
I like it.
All right.
Moving on to your second song choice, to me, Chris, was Lucky Man by, is it The Verve?
The Verve. Oh, God, I love this band so much.
I had never heard it before, but it kind of had that familiarity that you go, maybe I have, maybe I haven't. And then as the song went further, I was like, nope, I haven't. But just a great song for this playlist, Chris.
Great song, man.
It belongs here.
Oh, God, I love the Verve so much.
And there's something different about, these aren't like easy, like Sunday morning songs, because those are different. This is like taking a break, contemplating things, taking a sigh of relief, or whatever you're going to do when you're taking that first sip of coffee. And these are the music sounds that are in my head when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Happiness, more or less, it's just a changing me something in my liberty. Oh my mind.
Can't beat Richard Ashcroft's vocals, man.
And it's, again, a great Chris song to have on this list. Like, it's on brand for you, song. But totally on theme too. So it was really good. So it's, I don't know a whole lot about this song, and I've listened into it for a handful of songs, and I can say I enjoy it, and it's in that perfect place right now on our playlist that is right. Yeah. And so it's good. When was the song? I didn't even look. When was this, released?
Right. So Lucky Man was released in 1997 off of the Verve's biggest record, Urban Hymns. So most people, most normies
even normal.
Most normies know the band from this song. Most normies know the band from this song.
Oh, that part. I was like, where's that part?
Sorry, I was like, let me.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So most normies know them by that. But
I know that song.
They are a one of my favorite, like whatever you want to call them, Brit pop, Brit rock bands. I love the Verve. Fell in love with them back in the 90s for sure, when in their heyday. And this was obviously their biggest record, that Urban Hymns, Bittersweet Symphony, huge song. Everybody knows the story about that. But this song charted number 7 in the UK. This was actually the third single from that record, which was released on November 24th, 1997. And so what was cool about the Verve was you had Richard Ashcroft, who's like the singer, and he's also songwriter of the band. And then you had other guys like Nick McCabe in the band, who were much more like, and if you listen to Verve, their early stuff was much more like almost like psychedelic Pink Floyd-ish. And then as they grew as a band, there was like the Richard Ashcroft songs, which were a little more poppy, like Lucky Man and things like that. And then the Nick McCabe songs, which were a little bit more like, let's just call them like weird, but more like ambient sounding, a lot more like noises, like, but really good, but just not like that, like Lucky Man and the sounding like a very pop song. So, but basically, Lucky Man was released, as I said, it was the third song, and according to songfacts.com, in an interview that Richard Ashcroft did in 2018, he said of himself, "This is the definitive Richard Ashcroft song, and it will be the cream of a particular emotion or a particular scenario of the human condition plays out, and the song mirrors that," he said. "So if it happens to be Lucky Man for the feeling of transcendence, of liberty within yourself, your body, or your partner in life, you can actually fleetingly feel that moment, and you want to put it in a bottle. And that's what music's about. It should be about capturing those moments for yourself, and then the listener can put it over and over and over again if they want." This was also, this song was also about, what is it? Oh, here it is. Richard Ashcroft considers this to be his favorite song that he's ever written because it seems to be able to ignite or connect with an energy every time it's performed without fail. So he added, he was saying that he was also inspired to write the song by the relationship with his wife. So I love this song. I love this band.
It's a great song.
This to me is a 5-record song. So that's my opinion. That's my opinion on this, because I'm such a big fan. I'm just a stan for the Verve. I've seen them live. I saw them live back in the day a bunch of times. So I love this band. So I'm obviously very biased.
Sure.
But what is your feeling?
I have to say it's a 4 record for me. It is. It's, even if this would have been sent to me another week, we were just swapping songs. I think I would have been surprised you sent it to me then.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Because you have a distinct style during the regular shows. But yeah, I think 4 records, it probably is going to grow into a higher rating the more I listen to this, because I will listen to these 6 songs that we have over and over for the rest of my life.
There you go. That's a solid playlist right there.
It is. It makes me want us to just have a whole new playlist.
We could create the Yeah, we could call it the coffee breaking playlist.
Yeah. Breaking beans.
Yeah. And we could put some suggestions on there too from our community. I like that idea. Let's do that. So, hey, yeah, if there's songs that you want to hear on the coffee breaking playlist, let us know here in the comments or let us know in the community, our Facebook group. We'll put a post there and let us know. We'll make a nice coffee breaking playlist.
Yeah, because truly the other playlists that are on Spotify, like to your point, are more coffee house, which are a little more subdued, like in quiet. Because you're trying to have a conversation possibly, right? Where this playlist in my mind is like when I'm sitting here and I'm truly, no one's around and I'm taking that coffee break, intentional. Yeah. I'm releasing my brain, clearing my head and just wandering. And that's where this list is where my mind goes with it. So I'm excited. So let's do that. Let's do that whole new playlist.
Let's do it. Got it. Let's do it. I love it. And for everybody listening and watching, we're going to create that playlist. Let us know what you want to hear on that, the coffee breaking playlist. Let us know in the comments below. Go to our Facebook group using the link in our video description and show description, link in bio, all that stuff. And let us know. We'll put a post in there and we will add it in there. We'll do it.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
All right. So your third and final song to me this week is Knee Deep by the Zac Brown Band. Such an Amanda song. This is an Amanda song for sure.
I know you don't love Jimmy Buffett.
I'm not a Jimmy Buffett fan.
But
Gonna put the world away for a minute.
But it's like I'm putting the world away for a minute, you know, and just sipping my coffee.
Sunshine gonna wash.
But I love that. I love that lyric.
Cheers.
Sweet love, but I lost.
I gotta tell you though, you have between you and my buddy Kat have had me. I've come around a lot on Zac Brown.
He's interesting as a country artist.
Well, I love the fact that he's a huge metal fan. That is very well documented. I mean, very, very well documented. Where he's huge metal fan, is played like goes up, play like, and I love that. And I love that he's not afraid to share that side of himself, especially to like a country audience who like maybe like, wait, what? But like, I think he's an absolute great artist. I think he's a musician's musician for sure. And the guy's just a fan of music, which once again, I love that he wears that on his sleeve and puts it out there. Obviously, we've talked about too, like the collaborations with him and Dave Grohl, those sessions on Spotify you can listen to. So I've definitely come around a lot more on the Zac Brown Band and what he does. And I think he's definitely a guy that I would love to hang out with. I would love to hang out with Zac. He just seems like the best dude to hang out with. Like hang out, like, you know, sitting outside by the pool, got some stuff on the grill, have some drinks,
just relaxing,
talking about metal. I would love it. Be great. Yeah. So Zac Brown, if you're open invitation, by the way. I know he listens. I know Zac Brown listens to this show, so it's an open invitation. Maybe we could be friends one day. And you know, we can
in
just
person,
hang out.
Of course, because you already are friends.
Right. And we'll talk about Slayer and Pantera and you know all that. So but I did like this song though, despite the fact that Jimmy Buffett's on it, who I'm not gonna say I hate Jimmy Buffett. I'm just not a huge, I don't know. It's just whatever. I mean, I understand the thing he does, and obviously very popular. I mean, you know, but it just isn't my, I don't know.
Sure.
It's not my bag, but I do find that his contribution to the song is fun. So keeping it to this song, by the way, so according to songfacts.com, in this song, Zac Brown finds himself drifting on a post-breakup malaise. So he takes corrective action, buying a boat and taking a permanent vacation, which is a lot of time. I think all of us would love to take a permanent vacation sometime.
You got that right.
When he's knee deep in the water, all is well. This song obviously features Jimmy Buffett. And basically John Driscoll Hopkins from the band, bassist of the band, explained to Billboard magazine that the collaboration happened as a result of a chance meeting in 2009. He says, "We met on a camping trip last year and just sat around the fire with him for a while." See, that's what I want to do. I want to sit around a fire.
Yes.
Hanging out and talking some music. Like, that's what I want to do.
That's why you like campsite.bio so much, because it has like campsite right in it.
There you go. it was a quick friendship. He's a real cat, really down to earth, doesn't have a whole lot of ego, and just a super nice guy. We did a lot of vocals down at his place in Key West, and he happened to come through. So we got him to sit in, and it sounded great. It sounds like a Jimmy Buffett song when he sings it. Whenever he sings, it sounds like a Buffett song, you know. He wrote this with his frequent. Zach Brown wrote "Knee Deep" with his frequent collaborator Wyatt Durrett, along with the band's keyboardist and guitarist Cal Bowles and Nashville writer Jeffrey Steele. And he went on to say, Zach Brown says, "I had just broken up with a girl, and I was just done. I just wanted to get the heck away. It was a happy song, but that first part, I needed to get away from the world. I needed to find some water. That's how the first verse and melody came about. I wrote the chorus and bridge with Zach. Jeffrey helped out with the bridge. He helped us finish the song. We needed it. Coy wrote the second verse." So there you go. This was released on Zach Brown Band's second major label record, You Get What You Give. Knee Deep topped the country chart, marking it the second #1 country single for Jimmy Buffett. He previously reached the summit in 2003 with his Alan Jackson collaboration, It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So this song actually charted on the US, on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 18 now in the United States.
Excellent. I feel like Zach Brown really marries a lot of non-country people to country. Like, I think they like him even if they don't love country, to your points.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that he just does a great job. Once again, I like that the guy is just such a music fan, and he likes to collaborate. He doesn't really care genre. Just you know, I mean, obviously what he writes is in the country. If you're gonna box it, it's in the country genre. But like he himself just loves music.
Yeah,
and I love that he's not afraid to collaborate with whoever or like talk about it or say, hey, this was influenced by this or that. Like I said, he's definitely a guy I would love to hang out with.
absolutely.
I think we would get along really well.
I can see that.
I think we'd get along really well. Zach Brown, open invitation, buddy. Anytime. Next time you're in New Jersey, hit me up, brother.
There you go. Simple.
Hit me up. We will hang.
So if you had to rate this on that complicated scale of ours, 1 through 5 records.
I like the song. I think it's fun. I don't think it's a 4 for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3.7.
I like that. Okay.
I think 3.7. It's just shy of hitting a 4 for me.
Okay.
But I like the song. I do enjoy it. It's a nice little ditty. It's got a good bop to it. It fits in really well with this playlist as we've been talking about. So I like it. It's a nice little cap of your run of songs.
Thanks.
You know,
Thanks.
It's a good cap. It's a good bookend.
You know, because when you look at it, it's like, all right, you're mellow, and then you're kind of pumping yourself back up to like get back to work.
Yeah, it's a nice fun ditty. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's I don't know, it's got a good bop. I like it. So that's why I give it a 3.7. It probably will reach a 4, but the way I'm feeling about it right now, I'm like, it's a well-written song.
I receive that.
For me, not quite a 4, but just shy. So
now, if Jimmy Buffett wasn't on it.
You know what? Jimmy Buffett, though, doesn't feel like he dominates the whole song. So it's like he's just sort of there. Like it's very, you know, I can deal with it.
Okay.
Actually, I probably wouldn't even have known Jimmy Buffett was on the song had I not seen featuring Jimmy, to be honest with you.
That is really fair.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
That would be, I would be like, oh, I probably wouldn't even know he contributed to the song if it didn't say featuring Jimmy Buffett, to be honest.
Super great point. Okay. So I like that rating.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to your third and final song, Chris.
I'm interested to see what you think about this song.
I Will Follow You Into the Darkness by Death Cab for Cutie, which, what a name of a band.
Love Death Cab for Cutie.
And it's kind of doing the same theme that I did with mine a little bit, where you had some slow, and this one has more of that little bebop to it.
It's just him and a guitar. It's great.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close.
I know.
It's
I feel
very
the same way.
intimate.
Very intimate.
And that's why I think I liked this song.
Light,
I feel like all of them, maybe not Zach Brown's, obviously, and then probably 1979, but the other ones I just feel like are more just intimate, I guess is probably the best word a little bit, but this one probably most so. I feel like it's like I'm sitting in front of him in a club or a coffee house and he's staring right at me and singing.
Yep. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's such a beautiful song and just it gets you. It gets you. You know, you feel it.
If there's no one beside you,
the lyrics are so good.
I swear this would be, maybe it has been. I could almost see this being a song played on a TV show where someone's getting married and they're kind of going through like the motions of like the ceremony and reception, and it's kind of just a happy thing, kind of like a Parenthood or a show like that, maybe. And maybe it has been. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I'd have to look back. I'm sure it's been in something now. I mean, Death Cab for Cutie is such a well-known band.
Band name. Like, I really, you said me that, I was like, that is so cute.
Yeah, Death Cab for Cutie has been around for a while. I remember getting into them way back in the day. The first record I got into them was We Have the Results, and we voted yes. I love that record. And they wound up becoming like, this is a band, when you talk about bands that I never would have thought have broken through to like mainstream, this is a band that broke through to mainstream. Like, and they have a lot of quote unquote hit songs. Like, but I would have lost that bet back in the day, saying that this band would be a band being played on MTV and like regular rock radio, and going to like I've seen them live a couple times, like sold out like big theater shows. Like, I can't believe it that this like small indie band just blew up like this.
From your neck of the woods.
Death Cab for Cutie, kinda.
I think, did it say Massachusetts? So like not far though.
Yeah. No, they definitely they're an East Coast band. Yeah, I think they're a Massachusetts based band.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's in How I Met Your Mother, and so that's probably what I'm thinking of, because that would make much sense. Okay, so sorry, I had to look that up.
No, it's fine. Ben Gibbard, I think he's a great songwriter. I mean, a lot of people knew their side project band that kind of came up big, which is the Postal Service, which I think everybody in the world, they basically did one record, the Postal Service. And it was a side project band. It was him and oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on the other guy's name, but it was like a one-off thing, and it literally was a band where like I think every song was put into a commercial. So here's a little bit of Postal Service for you. I think you probably know this song.
And why this is going up, it actually is in a Parenthood episode too. I just saw.
There you go.
Check that out. Listen to this, like
everybody. This is sorry, and Jimmy Tamborello. That's who it was. So I think everybody kind of. I'll put it up. Let me go.
It's thoughts like this that catch my troubled head when you're away, when I am missing you tonight.
This stuff was in so many commercials. Like, this entire record was commercials, car ads.
Interesting.
One record made so much money. You know, there's like this song, District Sleeps Alone. Obviously, Amanda not knowing this. I know people who are listening to this right now are like, oh my God. Anyway, they Death Cab for Cutie, Ben Gibbard, the guy who's behind it, like Postal Service was huge. Death Cab for Cutie also, they're actually touring together. They're doing like a big like anniversary tour, because Postal Service was really a one-off thing project. That record exploded like crazy. But they're doing a Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie tour right now. It's kind of an anniversary type thing. But getting back to I Will Follow You Into the Dark, the song talks about Ben Gibbard talks about the song about his love for his girlfriend and how they will meet again after death, whether that is in heaven or in hell. He discussed in an interview with MME, Ben Gibbard, death is an ever-present fear. If not a fear, then an impending reality in our lives. We like to think that when people leave this life, we will see them again someday. Writing a love song that deals specifically with the inevitable death of one's partner, and that you will follow that person into whatever the afterlife is or not, that's something that people can absolutely relate to. I think the story about this is crazy, because we talk about this all the time, like songs being written fast. So he told VH1 Storytellers that he penned a song in a burst of creativity at a Seattle studio, which he solely kept for songwriting. One day I went to work, had my lunch all packed because I bring my own lunch, and I sat down to attempt to write a song. He explained, I wrote this song in about 15 minutes and I took my lunch and put it back on my bag and went home, because I realized there was no point in working for the rest of the day. So when people ask me about this song, I never feel like I can claim that I wrote it, because you should never be able to write a song in 15 minutes, because I feel like I channeled the song, but I didn't necessarily write it. Thankfully, though, I was able to put my name on it. I thought it was great.
I mean, we hear that over and over.
Yeah.
That it came together within 10 minutes or something of that nature. So he should not feel ashamed. And just when you're efficient and good at what you do, that's just how things happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy
just,
how fast things like that happen.
When you're talented and it's right and you got the story, and some things just do come to you, when you're doing the oddest things.
They really do. They really do. It's amazing how it happens. So, I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie, written in 15 minutes.
Great name. Great name.
Yeah.
Great name.
So where do you rank the song, Amanda Sharp? What is your official Song Swap Showdown record rating?
Okay.
For I Will Follow You Into the Dark?
I might be a little too close to it, even though I'm new to hearing it. But it is my favorite of the three that you gave me this week. And I really do feel that I want to give it 5 records. I'm just going to give it 5 records because I know it's going to land. It's going to land there. I'm positive of it. Yeah,
5 records.
I could give it a 4.8 or something like that. But when you're playing it and I feel so connected to it. I feel like it's speaking directly to me. And that is why I'm just jumping right into the 5 records. It ain't going anywhere on my list.
Not going anywhere. I
love it. Not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. And I'm going to
thank you for the 5 records.
Well, thank you for the song. And I'm going to dive into them a little bit more because I do feel like they're more my style of listening to. Yeah. I could probably develop into being kind of a groupie of them.
Right. Now it's funny because I did play you Postal Service. I originally had my first version of this list had Postal Service on there.
That's funny. This was perfect.
I had that first song and I was like, and then I go, you know what though? But Death Cab for Cutie's got so many good songs. And this song I just thought was and I love so much. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for this song. I think this is a really good,
good choice.
Yeah, it's got some good emotion to it. And I think it fits in really well.
So 5 records, Chris Baglio, 5 records. I Will Follow You Into the Darkness.
And there you have it. Boom. 5 records. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for the 5 records.
You're welcome.
I hope you all enjoyed today's show as we talked about music to swap and sip to. Sip in your coffee or hot water in Amanda's case.
Foolishness. I'm so sorry. Such a fraud, am I?
Such a fraud. No, it's okay. It's okay. And normally you're drinking a lot of coffee on the show.
Absolutely.
It's all
for
good.
Sure.
It's all good. Well, that just about wraps it up for us today. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us today, whether you're watching the live stream of this or checking out the show wherever you get podcasts or any of the replay places that you can replay the show. Replay. Please make sure you like this video wherever you're watching it or share it with some friends. Even better yet, if you're watching on any of those video platforms like YouTube, you may want to hit that little subscribe button and then hit the little bell and then all those things. So that way you subscribe to the channel and you get notified every single time we go live. If you're listening on a podcast platform, we'll hit that follow button. It takes literally not even a second. Hit the follow button.
Yep.
Because when you do, it helps the show grow because it helps others discover the show, but also keeps you up to date whenever we drop new episodes. So maybe you'll miss a week here or there, but that's a great thing is that we do the show weekly. So that way, if you do that, you'll get notified every single time we drop a new episode and you won't miss a minute of the Song Swap Showdown. Because we appreciate you and we don't want you to miss the show at all because we have fun doing it. And we want you to have fun listening to it.
We want you to keep coming back.
Yeah, we want you to keep coming back. So, but seriously, thank you guys so much. We do appreciate you. Amanda Sharp, any final words for our community, our swapping community?
Just go to our Facebook group, add all of your suggestions that you would like to add to our swap and sip playlist for our coffee episode here today, because I will frequent this playlist very often.
Yeah, this is a good playlist, and I think this is a good primer. And like I said, even if you just listen to these 6 songs and then kind of like spin off into that radio side of things, like I think you'll dig it. But yes, we are going to create that playlist. So I will put the post in our group and then let us know. Join the group, throw your ads in. We'll add them. We will add them.
Yep.
That is our promise to you and our gift to you. Swappers.
Thank you all for being here today. You always make it fun.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you next time on another edition or episode or edition, whatever you want to call it, of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown. Have a great week, everyone. See you soon. To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.